Have you ever wondered what the one number you must know to have any chance to make money in the restaurant business is? It's called prime cost. And I'm going to go over the restaurant prime cost definition and what goes into that and why it's important in about 2 seconds. Hello, this is Dave Scott Peters, creator of the Restaurant Prosperity Formula. And I get it, you've heard this word thrown around called prime cost. What is prime cost? What's the definition? What is restaurant prime cost? Well, I'm going to tell you, to old timers like me, I've been 30 plus years in the business. We grew up knowing it as something called controllable expenses. In the control of management, how I hire, fire, train, utilize my people, purchase product, utilize my product. In other words, it's the manager's report card, how they use their staff and how they use the product. It's in control, because think of it this way. A manager can't control what your lease is, your rent is. They can't control whether you drive a Maserati out of the restaurant. Doesn't that sound cool? The fact is they can control people and product. So again, prime cost for all intents and purposes used to be called controllable expenses, in the control of management. Now what goes into that? Well, it's total cost of goods sold plus total labor costs, including taxes, benefits, insurance. So cost of goods sold is the cost of the goods sold. Food cost, bottled beer, draft beer, wine, liquor cost. So food cost, pour cost, or total cost of goods sold. So the only way to really know that is take inventories. But if you don't take inventories and really calculate what your food cost is, your pour cost is, and so on, you can take your total purchases divided by your total sales for the last 12 months, and you can come up with that number. Otherwise, you need to be following the actual cost of goods sold calculation. Peruse this channel. I'm sure I'm going to have a video just for you to teach you a cost of goods sold calculation. Now, next is labor costs. And that includes whether I pay a cook $10 an hour plus taxes, benefits, insurance, right? Owners, what comes out of your bank account? Does $10, if I work 1 hour as a $10 an hour cook, does that come out of your bank account? No, $12, $13 an hour comes out. So that's a part of it too. Then we've got our salaried managers. They're a part of it. And you as an owner, maybe. If you work on the floor as a manager, then you're a part of prime cost or an adjusted salary. For instance, if you pay yourself $70,000 a year, but you'd pay a manager $40,000 of your salaries in prime cost, because the rest is sucking up profits, right? I'm going to fire you at one point in time to allow you to work on your business, not in it. So if you work 2 days a week on the floor as a manager, then 2/5 or an adjusted 2/5 of your salary. In other words, it's only the people it takes to run the business, right? Those 4 walls. It does not include a bookkeeper, it does not include a marketing person, catering person for sales and so on, just the management and the employees to run that shift in those 4 walls. Now, where do we measure it against? Gross or net sales? Well, you've got to understand what the definitions between those, because most POS systems, what they call gross sales is actually net sales. Gross sales is the ring at the register before discounts, not including sales tax. Sales tax is not a sale. So that means if I ring up a $10 burger and I comp $5, gross sales is $10. After the comp is called net sales. And I'm going to tell you, when I started working with independent restaurant operators, early 2000s, people would talk about net sales was the number. I'm going to tell you it's gross sales. So we take our total cost of goods sold divided by our gross sales in order to calculate our accurate prime cost. And the reason being is this. Look at it this way. If I asked a chef to put out a $10 burger, use $3 in product, but I comped $5, well, at a full $10, it's a 30% food cost. At $5, it's 60%. That is not the chef's fault, because you decided to run a BOGO, buy one, get one free. Now, don't get me wrong, comps are an expense and they need to be tracked. But to measure whether the chef ran his or her kitchen properly, it said bring in $10, use $3 in product. That's why we use gross sales. Now look, if you want to change your life, you've got to understand what prime cost is and that we don't use industry averages. What do? We use what our budget says. We need a budget to say, based on our core values, who we are as a person, how we want our business run, quality of product, style of service, all these things that go into it. We decide whether our labor cost is going to run higher, our food cost lower, our food cost higher, our labor cost lower. Depending on where we are in the country, some of those things get decided for us. Because look at it this way, to come up with where you need to be is dependent on your business. So where should you be? Well, in the old days, Early 2000s, you talk to any restaurant expert, they were quoting a 65% prime cost for a full service restaurant and 60% for quick serve. Well, the truth of the matter is our costs keep going up. Minimum wage is going up. Food costs are rising. Bottled beer, draft beer, wine, liquor, everything's going up. We need EPLI insurance. We have marketing software. We have restaurant software. We have all these things that are chewing into our margins. That doesn't work anymore. I'm here to tell you, if you do at least $850,000 a year or more in sales, gross sales, your new prime cost target is 55%. If you're under that, 60%. That means if you're a full service restaurant, you've been running at 65% prime cost, patting yourself on the back, you do $1 million a year in sales, I'm telling you there's $100,000 in bottom line profitability on the same sales you're doing right now if you take the time to implement systems to control that. Look, I get it. You're not dumb for not knowing this number. If you've been searching what prime cost is, if you've been searching restaurant prime cost, if you've been searching prime cost definition, and you stumbled across this video, I'm going to tell you right now, you need to understand it. It's what? Gross sales is important. We need to know our total cost of goods sold plus our total labor costs, including taxes, benefits, insurance. We take that total cost divided by gross sales and we get our number. But the beautiful part is knowing your number allows you to create strategies to reduce it and make the money you deserve.